Excellent. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good to see you all. Thank you for taking the time out to be with me on this call. You'll see it's a slightly different format from what we've done in the past. And this is a type of format that thank you, Chet. Good day from Los Angeles. This is a slightly different format, but it is something we're going to be using going forward. And what I want to do is to have a bit of information about Wealth Warriors at the beginning, introducing a platform in the middle, and we've got a guest speaker to do that for us. They'll be able to answer any of your questions, and then finish off about Wealth Warriors, because Wealth Warriors is the system, but part of the system, part of the way we make money is using the platform, and the guest platform this evening is Property Robots. So we're going to hear from Steve Sexton shortly. Like I say, he's very, very knowledgeable about Property Robots. Got an inside track, spent some time with some of the other leadership in the company. So he'll be able to give us an in-depth explanation. Maybe even he'll show us his back office, a little quick tour around that, and be available for some questions in a little bit. So I'm going to share my screen, and we'll start off with a presentation. And when I get to the bit about Property Robots, then I'll stop sharing the screen and we'll let Steve take over. Okay, so Property Robots, and I put this slide up because it occurred to me that every single one of these buildings, every single one of them at some point had to be built. Okay, if you go back far enough in time, none of these buildings were here. So it just begs the question that, or brings home the fact that whatever the landscape or whatever infrastructure is going to be in place in our towns and cities and developments in the future, there's nothing there now, and these things all have to be built. And you're going to find out a little bit later tonight, Property Robots is going to be absolutely instrumental. Is going to be one of the forerunners of the forces driving developments of towns and cities going forward. Okay, and I won't take too much more of Steve's thunder, but that's how I see it. So that's why I put this slide up. I apologize. I've made a slight mistake here. Okay, apologies. Let me stop the share. I'll have to start another presentation. Here we go. So let's share the screen again. If I was really smart, I would edit that out of the final video. However, anybody who's never made a mistake on a Zoom call, probably not worth talking to. So there we go. Welcome to Wealth Warriors, Financial Freedom Fighters, and introducing Property Robots. So what are the goals of Wealth Warriors? What are we looking for? Well, we're looking for money from passive activity. These are not exactly criteria. They're just things that collectively we want. This is Wealth Warriors, a community. We're bonded together through certain desires, certain things we want to work towards, certain things we want to move away from. Okay, so I'm just going to spend a few minutes just talking about that. So we want money from passive activity, and we want money from commissions. We don't want all of our money just coming from commissions, because that's not sustainable, and we don't really want all of our money from passive activity. We want to be able to introduce others and maintain our community, maintain our society. We want reliability of income, so we want it to continue for a period of time, a significant period of time. We want financial freedom, but that's not true of everyone, but a lot of people want financial freedom. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they said, well, I'm a nurse. I love being a nurse. I wouldn't want to make a lot of money and give up the nursing. I said, well, why not just make a lot of money, take care of all your financial needs and those of your friends and family and other people, and carry on being a nurse, but you don't need to worry about being rewarded with minimum pay. And she liked that idea. She liked that idea. So financial freedom means different things to different people. Peace of mind. That's normally, actually, I put it further down the list, but that's normally number one. If you were to ask what people want out of life over the next 5 years, they want to be in a position where they're not worrying, and certainly not worrying about money. Peace of mind is very important. Leaving a legacy. Most people, again, if you ask them what do they, do they want to be remembered for anything when they passed? What's life all about? Where are we going? Why are we all here? A lot of people realize that they actually want to leave a legacy, whether that's a monument or a building on the London skyscraper, or landscape, or leaving a lot of money to their children, leaving businesses or properties to their children, whatever. We all want to leave a legacy. We want the world to know we were here. We didn't just visit for a while and did nothing. We did something, and look, here's the proof. And most of us want to retire. I really don't believe that life was designed for us to work for all of our lives. I think life is here. There's a huge world out there with plenty of things to do and see, people to meet, places to go, and we don't need to be working all of our lives. But if we do, if we can retire, you might say to somebody, give me a number about retirement, and they would say to you 65, 67 years old. Okay, but I would say to you £30,000 a month. That's the number I would think of. I believe that most people that are earning £30,000 a month, or even £20,000 a month, it's very difficult to tell the difference between somebody who's earning £20,000 a month and somebody who's a multimillionaire, just based on their lifestyle. They can eat in the same restaurants, they can stay in the same hotels, they can go to the same holidays, they can be on the same yachts. Okay, they can live exactly the same lifestyle, just £20,000 a month or $20,000 a month. You can live a retirement lifestyle exactly the same as a multimillionaire. So it's not a lot of money, but it requires you to have the time to enjoy your freedom. Something else we want to do is support loved ones and worthwhile causes, churches and charities, and so many worthwhile causes. People out there who would love to have our money, they would love to have our time input if we could only spare enough of either to support them. So these are some of the reasons people do want to do something in the online space. We're not dependent on any one platform. We don't, Wealth Warriors is not a platform itself. You don't get paid from Wealth Warriors. You get paid from the platforms that we get involved with. But let me show you how we do it and why it's so different. We use platforms, they don't use us. The way we do this is, if something happens to one of the platforms we're involved with, you don't reset your earnings or profits to zero. You might do in that platform, but if we've got 6 or 7 platforms on the go, and one of them turns out to be a scam, or through even legitimate reasons, they close that platform down, we haven't reset all of our earnings and all of our profits to zero. Okay, so that's one of the great benefits. So many people put so much into a single platform that when it goes, they're wiped out. I've done it. I followed very poor advice before I figured this space out. I used to do that. Well, I've done it at least twice. Also, people don't like to get involved in platforms where, if it goes bust, their relationships are destroyed. They've introduced their brother-in-law, their cousin, their boss, maybe. Again, when that platform goes bust, those people never speak to them again, or it certainly affects that relationship. Okay, we never have to do that. That never has to happen again if you don't want it to. We only want to get involved in the best, most profitable platforms, and we want to stack the deck in your favor instead of just taking what you're given by a system that doesn't want you or your family to succeed. And that's the reality in the online business space. Nobody else cares if you succeed or not. The only people who do are you and your family. And when you're part of Wealth Warriors, of course, you now have a whole community that's invested in you succeeding. They want to see you succeed. We're the system, we're the thing that makes the whole thing work. Wealth Warriors makes the whole thing work. Your commitment to Wealth Warriors, so yeah, there's a price. You don't get all the benefits, and I'll talk about the benefits in a minute. But what's your commitment? One is that you need to commit to maintaining lines of sponsorship across all platforms. And we're talking tonight about Property Robots. Property Robots is the first of our platforms, and it's the blueprint for what the lines of sponsorship should look like throughout your whole organization, throughout every platform that we introduce. Okay, so whoever you introduce to Property Robots, you then introduce them to other platforms. You'll get the hang of that in a minute. Sign up in all the platforms that we adopt. If somebody says, well, I know you've got 6 or 7 great platforms, Wealth Warriors, force to be reckoned with. I love the way that that's all coming together. It's brilliant, but I'm only going to sign up in one of them. Then it's absolutely pointless being involved in Wealth Warriors. You might as well just go do your own thing, because by and large you are. Again, I'm not going to try and convince anybody to do what I'm saying. All I'm saying is, if you want the benefits Wealth Warriors can offer, meet your commitments that I'm just going through now. Sign up in all the platforms without exception. Get your personally introduced people to do the same. Support your own people by learning about all of the platforms that we adopt. And there are Zoom calls for every single platform every night of the week. Okay, so there's no excuse for not knowing what's going on in all of the platforms. You don't need to be an expert, but you just need to be able to, know enough that you can talk to your people and help them with some of the basic problems they'll have. And of course, we want to support and encourage all of the Wealth Warriors. So what are the benefits? The number one benefit is that your finances will never reset to zero just because a single platform fails. So why is that so great? Because it gives you time. It gives you time to develop a long-term approach to building the product, the passive side of your business. Okay. Now, if we take Property Robots, you'll see in a minute that, or you've seen online, there are some businesses come on and say, we'll give you 5% a day, 4% a day, 20% a week. Okay. Property Robots does not offer that. In fact, we don't have any platforms that offer that, because it's a load of rubbish. Okay, it's not sustainable. We've all been involved in things like that are sustainable. But then the reason we fall for that is because if we're going to start on something that's got 0.5% a day, 1% a day, 0.75% a day, okay, if we're going to get involved in that, and we've got to work with that and keep compounding it and keep putting the profits back in and making it grow, we need to be sure we have the time to allow that small seed to grow to a large income, or certainly a large asset that can produce a large income. Okay, so this is where benefit number one comes in. Because you know that you're going to have the time to develop this long-term approach, then you can start small and work up. Therefore, we can get involved in platforms that are more reliable. So yes, the return is less than all these high-up programs, but they're real, they're realistic, they exist, they're paid by well, in fact, I'm coming on to the next point already, so let's get on to the next point. You can introduce your friends and family to a system knowing that they will make money from the system, and you'll never have to feel guilt at letting people down and losing the money. So again, imagine we've got 5 or 6 platforms and we're making money from all of them. Let's suppose you're making $200 from 5 different platforms, $200 a month from 5 different platforms. So you're making $1,000 a month. One of those platforms goes bust, so your income drops to $800. Okay, so you don't have to feel guilty about people introducing people. You're still helping them make $800 a month. Yes, we've lost a platform, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. So what we'll do then is they'll continue to build up that $800 a month, and they'll be back to 1,000 before very long. And then maybe we'll introduce another platform, and they continue to make money from that platform. So your income, so your finances never reset to zero, and the people in your community never reset to zero. Okay, so they're the 2 greatest benefits. The third benefit is that you can start every new platform with an existing community, so that you never start a new platform from zero. So take that example I was giving just now. we lose one platform, and maybe you had 30 people in that platform. Then we discover a new platform, we test it, we try it, we check, do all our due diligence. We say, right, we're now going to adopt this new platform. Okay, straight away, within a few days, you slot 30 people into that new platform. So you're probably back to making that $200 a month again from that new platform. So what you made, whatever you developed in terms of business, carries forward platform to platform to platform. You don't reset, and you start halfway up the totem pole, or you start wherever your level of success within Wealth Warriors is. That's where you start a new platform. 3 really good, strong benefits to what we're doing with Wealth Warriors. So benefit 4. We only get involved with good, solid platforms that have longevity, profitability, and reliability. And that's the result of a platform meeting all of our criteria. I spend a huge amount of time looking through platforms to find the best platforms. Now, some of you know that I recommended a few, and some of them went by the wayside. I deeply regret that. It's unfortunate that it happened the way it did. I think it's because these platforms were using what I refer to as time bomb tactics. So when you get involved, you don't realize immediately they're a scam. It's not until you've withdrawn 20 times, or you've got a certain amount of money in the scheme, that all of a sudden they start asking for more fees, and then they want more fees and more fees. Okay, so we couldn't have known that right from the beginning. So we've adjusted our the way we do things, and we'll test these businesses a little bit longer, and we'll specifically look out for that sort of thing with existing members. So we're getting a bit older and a bit wiser, but generally the idea is that when we start a platform, it's been tried and tested, pulled apart, put back together again, and we think that it's got good performance and good profitability and longevity. So that's benefit 4. You don't have to do any of that. I've lost thousands of pounds doing that with some of these companies that we haven't gotten involved with. I've got watches and stuff in my cupboards, and I've got a lot of money missing out of my Bitcoin account, okay, because I'm prepared to take that approach and make sure that these businesses are good and solid before we get involved with them. Okay, so you don't need to do that. That would otherwise be your money. We'd have hundreds of people all going out there trying to test these new platforms. Well, you don't need that. What we need is 1 or 2 of us to do that and report back, which is what we do. Benefit 5 is you can learn some strategies and techniques designed to multiply your income, not just increase it, to multiply your income above and beyond what's provided by the platform. So you can learn how to be the mortar between the bricks to keep your business strong and profitable for a very long time to come. And many of you know this. When I get involved in a business, I pull it apart, put it back together again, and I develop strategies that if you just read the literature of the platform, isn't what I'm teaching people isn't there. But I've developed different ways of looking at things, strategizing to really maximize your profitability. Now, you can't do that with every platform, but you can with some of them, and so that's what you get as a concrete benefit. And benefit 6 is having access to a training system that will help you duplicate your time and effort, which will multiply your income and financial security and decrease your workload. Now, I'm working on the training system. Some of you have been involved with some of that. So it's not complete yet. However, this Zoom meeting I'm doing now, and other Zoom meetings that I do on a fairly regular basis, is part of that training system. And what I would say, I don't think I can be contradicted if I were to say that only about 1 in 10 people that are involved in Wealth Warriors understand Wealth Warriors. I don't think most people understand what they have their hands on. It really is a tremendous system, and I'm not just saying that because I developed it. I think I developed it more out of desperation or I don't know. It just sort of, but it didn't come together in an epiphany. It started with a small epiphany and a lot of trial and error, a lot of false starts. But now this is a system to be reckoned with, and in the near future, I think we're going to see a lot of online businesses, a lot of online leaders trying to do the same as we're already doing with Wealth Warriors. And in that case, if you were the one introducing them to Wealth Warriors, then you would be automatically importing groups of hundreds, if not thousands of people. And there would be great benefit to you for doing that, of course. So that's all part of the training system. So we have criteria for adopting the platform. It must be available in the whole world, not excluded in the US. We have put together a list of platforms that are pretty good, but they don't meet the criteria. They're not good enough to be in Wealth Warriors. But what we do is we keep them in the Wealth Warriors Telegram group. There's a list of them that are pretty good, and we tell you why they're not part of Wealth Warriors. So we tell you the benefits, and we tell you the reason they're not being adopted. So if you want to join any of those, feel free, you can go there. But what I'd say is go back to your upline, your Property Robots upline, and if they're in that particular platform, then join up with them. If not, go upline until you do find somebody. They're not part of the criteria. You don't need to be with those platforms. You don't need to be signed up in every single one of those. They're just kind of extras. We find that we think, well, we'll promote this to you because you may like it. But there are some in there that I'm promoting, but I'm not doing it myself. So that's, there's not part of Wealth Warriors. It's just an extra thing that we do. Okay, lost my mouse. Where are you? It must have a unilevel compensation plan. Okay, binary plans and forced matrices and all this sort of thing really destroy what we're doing. It destroys the lines of sponsorship, and so therefore we're restricted to unilevel compensation plans. That doesn't mean that something with a binary plan won't work or isn't good. I'm sure some of them must be, but we can't use it in Wealth Warriors because it must be a unilevel compensation plan. 3, people must be able to join for free or get involved in a passive income program for a very low entry cost, i.e. $1,000. I mean, I've seen some tremendous businesses that you'll make a huge amount of money, but the buy-in price is $27,000, $27,500. This particular one I'm thinking of. Again, some of you know what it is. It's a great business, but it's totally beyond the reach of most people that we want to bring into Wealth Warriors, and we don't want that entry point to be a barrier. We want Wealth Warriors. We want anybody to be able to get into Wealth Warriors. Okay, so a low entry cost of $100, or some of them are free. If I can find free platforms, then I like that. Now, the reason those first 3 are important is that the combination of 1, 2, and 3 means that we can maintain the lines of sponsorship. Like I said, if it's a very expensive entry point, or if it's not available in some parts of the world, or if it's a binary compensation plan, then we can't maintain the lines of sponsorship across all platforms. It must be based on real world applications. That's what I love about Property Robots. It's the first, when I started looking at this, it's the first program that I looked at that's based on a real world application. And it didn't blow my mind, but it was really quite fascinating to see that materialized at exactly the time I was looking for it. I don't believe in coincidence. Okay, so yeah, so businesses must be based on real world applications, not just money games or shell games. Again, money games are just where, you put some money in and then you bring in some people and they put some money in and they bring some people in, and then 7 weeks later you get $42,000. Okay, there's got to be a real world application. There's got to be things happening, people buying things, doing things, selling things, making things, whatever it is. And we've got some other great things coming down the pipeline exactly along those lines. We must be able to verify the company's legal status and its involvement in the real world activities. It's pointless saying, yes, we do all this trading, look how many millions we make every day, and there's no evidence of that trading activity. Okay, so we've got to be able to verify these things. If possible, we must be able to meet the CEO or business owner, and having met him, we must have gotten all of our questions answered. And I don't think we have a problem with that with Property Robots. Many of you have seen the video we made a few weeks ago, and many of you have actually met and spoken to the CEO of the company. The compensation plan must be viable and sustainable. And I was saying earlier about these 5% a day, 7% a day, this sort of thing. I don't believe that's sustainable. With the real world application giving modest returns and then giving us modest returns to our accounts, then that's much more sustainable. And the membership of Wealth Warriors must all be able to get behind the project, so we don't get involved in gambling, money laundering. I say arms dealing, just as a joke, really, but it's, we don't want people to look at Wealth Warriors, say, well, I would do it, except there's gambling involved, and I'm not, I'm not allowed to do that, I'm not able to do that, whatever. So we just automatically exclude all platforms that have anything to do with, if people just can't get behind it, then we can't have it in Wealth Warriors. Okay, so the platforms we've adopted so far are Property Robots, which is crowdfunding the manufacture of pre-sold house printing robots, and we're going to hear from Steve in a couple of minutes about that. Trade Like Crazy is an investment program in crypto and forex trading. That's really good. You can see all of the trading from all of the traders, and you can see, and you can verify all the trading from through Bybit. And we have tower staking, which we can stake in up to 16 coins spread across 4 plans. There's actually 5 plans right now, but one of them I think is temporary. They all give great returns, typically from about 0.75% a day up to at the very extreme 2% a day. But you've got to really you've got to put a lot of money in and leave it there for a long time to get up to 2% a day. And you can meet the people and talk to them. You can see the wallets, see how much money there is in all of these different wallets and so on. So I'm going to stop my screen share and I'm going to ask Steve to share his screen. And you've got a free hand, Steve. You can talk about what you like. I'd like it if you did cover the slides that I sort of prepared, but if you want to go completely off script, that's fine as well. We'd love to hear your experiences of it. We'd love to hear how you were involved, and you want to unmute, yeah. And yeah, we want to hear your experiences, how what you're involved in doing with the company, where you think is going, all the excitement, all the new developments, and just anything you want to tell us.
I will do. Can I ask you to do me a favour?
Absolutely.
Can you put your slides back up? I'm having a problem downloading. The file's too big for my download.
Oh no. Okay.
You can put your,
let's see.
and what I'll do, I'll go through your slides, then I'll ask you to go back to screen share, and I'll show you my back office and another couple of slides that I've got in place.
Okay.
It's nice to meet you all. Anyway, my name's Steve Sexton. I've been with Property Robots, Cameras 3DCP since October last year. I got introduced to it. I went along and met the CEO and had a good chat with them. And from then on, I was in. The concept of it is absolutely phenomenal. I don't know who was on at the start when Andy showed the slide of the town, whatever country it was in, but every single building was built from scratch. Everywhere you go, you look around any town, city, countryside, it's the biggest industry in the world, real estate and construction. It happens every day of the week. But there is a global housing crisis. And it's not just in the UK, in the US, it's every single country has got an issue with housing. And Property Robots, in partnership with Camhurst, have basically brought a solution to the industry, really. Now, this kind of technology is not brand new. It's actually been around for about 13 years. But it's only the last few years where it's actually become a viable option in the construction industry. So what I'm going to share with you is obviously some statistics about the industry, about property robots and the collaboration with Camhurst. Now, what I want to tell you straight away, property robots is not a business. It has not got an office. It is not an entity as such. Property robots is a community of people, and we've come together, and it's overseen by what you would call a board. It's a group of leaders that are obviously talking to Camhurst directly and making decisions along with Camhurst on our behalf of the community. But property robots is not actually a business as you would understand a business to be. It has no premises. It's just a community of people that have come together. Now, your slides have gone off, Andy.
Yeah, I know. I'm enjoying what you're saying. I thought I'd put you front and centre.
Oh, right. And the way it's going to progress is, as a community, we're going to get what we call voting rights. So as the community grows, each and every one of us is going to have a say in where the company goes, in which direction the company goes. The company itself, Camhurst, who we're in collaboration with, decide, along with the community, the best way forward for the returns on the profits of these robots, the time period on the returns of these robots, and where we deploy and concentrate our efforts on building up a network in that country. At the moment, we've got a lot of interest in Africa. We've got some fantastic deals in place in Africa. They've actually got 1,800 robots pre-ordered with deposits already taken on them orders. They was in talks yesterday with a group in Colombia that want to buy 1,000 robots. So these robots, they're not just being bought in ones and twos. They're being bought in 20s, 30s upwards by construction companies and governments to build these houses around the world. If you can put the slides back up, Andy, please.
Sure.
So what we are as a community, we are liquidity providers. Basically, we help the funding of these robots. Now, these robots can build a small house in 48 to 72 hours. That's a shell of a building. It can build internal walls as well. Whatever the program is designed to do, the robot can print it. But basically, we're looking at a shell of a house in 48 to 72 hours. The company has, as it says there, already has orders over 450 million at the moment. Construction companies do buy them in multiples. As I say, the group in Colombia are looking at 1,000 robots. So, it's a substantial order in the terms of value for the company. Now, we take part in it as crowd funders, as such, liquidity providers. Whatever we provide in liquidity, we in return get double our liquidity over a period of time. And I'll go through the periods of time that it takes. Now, this is not your usual 1% a day, 2% a day sort of programs. This is a real world business. That property robots is not actually the business. We're a community. The company behind it, Camhurst, is a real world business. It has offices in Manchester in the UK. It has a warehouse in the Staley Bridge in the UK. It's looking expanding to another warehousing premises in Stoke-on-Trent, which is in the UK. And they're also looking at premises in America and also in Africa. So they've got a local manufacturing plant. Our profits are generated from the profits of the robots. 20% of the profit that the robots generate is returned to the community. So it's not a made up figure. That robot has been sold, the profit has been generated, and the profit has been shared with yourselves. You can compound by buying more plans. There's no actual daily compounding, which some of you might have been used to with some of these other platforms. The way it compounds is you reach a minimum of $100, you can buy another plan, and that will run its course until it's doubled. You just go on to the next slide for me, please, Andy. Now, the compensation plan is a uni-level plan. We're not a multi-level marketing company as such. They've tried to stay around from being a full-blown MLM company. Basically, we are an affiliate network. And what I'm going to do, if you can just put me on share screen, I'll share the actual compensation plan on my slides.
You're on share screen.
Right. It won't let me share while you're sharing, Andy.
Okay, apologies.
Right. Let's just see.
Okay, yeah, we can see that. So you're muted. No, you're still muted. How did you mute yourself?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Right. I'm on a Chromebook, and it's a lot different to a normal computer. Right, as I say, we are an affiliate network, and we have a number of plans starting from $100 all the way up to $100,000. Now, each of these plans will return double the amount over a set period of time. Now, at the moment, we have two options: a fixed plan and a flexible plan. The flexible plan, just say you come in with $100, will double over 250 days, just short of 9 months. The fixed plan will double in 168 days, just short of 6 months. Now, the returns of these are based on the data that Camhurst provide, how the sales and how the profits are going. So if the can I put it, if the sales are slowing down at all, then they might lengthen the time of the next plan. The next purchase plans that you buy might go to 10 months, might go to 12 months. The same again, if the company's doing extremely well and profits are growing a lot quicker than expected, they could bring that down to 4 months, 3 months, whatever, because it's all based on the actual sales of robots. So you can literally provide liquidity from $100 to $100,000, and each of them plans will double over that set period of time. Once that plan's in place, them dates will not change. It will run for that time. It's like it's a contract in effect. Now, very soon they are actually going to automate it all. So once your contract expires, your money will be sent directly to your wallet that you've entered into your back office. And I'll show you the back office a little bit later. With this, it also has a referral side of it. Now, the referral side, you can actually become a member for free, which a lot of people do. They sign up and take a look at it, watch it for a while before they decide to actually put any liquidity into the business. Now, as a free member, you can earn 8% on any members you bring to the table that provide liquidity. If you decide that, you know, this is something for you, it sounds great, and you come in with a minimum of $100, that will open up these other levels. So basically, as your group's volume grow, once you get to $1,000 in group volume, you will get 15% commission. Now, all these commissions actually come out of the profits of robots that are already sold. They're not coming out of the new person's money. All these figures are based on the actual amounts of robots that are sold already and basically forecast to be sold over the, you know, the coming months and that. So these figures are not, it's not like Andy puts in $1,000 and I get 15% of it, $150 out of Andy's money, meaning he's only got, you know, 850 in liquidity. He's actually got $1,000 in liquidity. The company pay the commissions out of profits they've already generated from the pre-sales of these robots. And as you can see, this status level goes down 15 levels. So there's a maximum of 40% that you can actually earn on your direct referrals. If someone comes in with $1,000 and just say you're on level 1, you'll get 8% of that, which is what, $80. If you've got a minimum of $1,000 in liquidity in your group and you've already purchased a minimum $100 package, you'll get 15% of that. So you can see here on your different status levels, the differentials in commissions that are paid out, and it's all based on group volume. So me personally, I'm here at the moment. I've got about 120,000 worth of liquidity as a group, and I'm on 24%. So it's quite a powerful compensation plan. And it's one of them things, it's not a hard sell. I'll be honest with you, it's not sexy, it's not exciting like a lot of these online programs are, but it's real and it's sustainable and it's built for the long term. And it also has a rank achievement bonus structure. Now, this is the only sort of connection with a multi-level marketing type of plan. As you build a network, if you get 2 lines with status 3, which if you look back here, that's status 3 is a minimum of $5,000 each in their team's volume. You get a one-off bonus of $250. Now, these rank bonuses go all the way up to 4 million. Is anybody going to achieve that? I don't know. You know, it's quite a lot of volume, but myself, I'd be quite happy, you know, anywhere between 5 and 25,000 in rank bonuses, because it's extra for what you're already doing. So it's a very simple affiliate plan. You know, it's not complicated. It's not got breakaways. It's not got, you know, you lose this because, you know, of someone else's business and stuff like that. Also, if I can find it, let's see, I'll show you my back office if I can just get into it. Take me a sec, because it logs you out every time you leave it.
Oh, that's my password as well, Steve.
What's that, Andy? Sorry?
I say that's my password as well. That's a coincidence.
I take it you can all see this on screen.
Yes.
Yes. So I've got no secrets. But that's one of the features of this, the added security. So you know your account's not going to get hacked. Right, that's my back office. As you can see up here, I'm an ambassador status 5. They've actually changed the name from ambassador now. To be honest, I can't remember what they call us, whether it's members or whatever, but they've actually changed the name from ambassador. But you can see I'm a status 5 with 24%. Since I joined in October, I've received 21,885 in commissions and just under 6,000 in daily rewards. You can see my personal volume now. I've got 11,800 in personal volume, a team volume of 119,950. My daily rewards are 58.10. That'll be $60 something tomorrow because I've just bought a couple of more plans. And you can see there I've got a group of 249 individuals. And that's what they are. We're a community of individuals that have come together to provide liquidity for Camhurst. Now, I'll show you my package reports. At the moment, I've got no fixed plans. I'm only got flexible plans. You can see there I've got a number of flexible plans. I'll show you the date I started. My first plan was bought on the 4th of October. That's due to expire in 13 days. So as soon as that does, that $1,000 will be going straight back in. I can't show you my downline report because obviously it gives names and that of people.
You show the rank achievement.
Yeah, I'll go on to the rank achievement. Right, I'm currently here. I've achieved double red diamond status. That's personal volume of $2,000, which is reached, and a group volume of $60,000. For the next rank, I need a total group volume of $200,000. I've got $120,000, so I'm $80,000 short. Personal volume, I've completed because I've got over $3,000 already. In personal volume, I've got enough to get to this level without actually putting any more of my own liquidity in. Obviously, I've got to achieve these figures first, but that tells you how much in personal liquidity you need to get through these ranks. I've already achieved these 2 levels and been paid out on it. What I want to do is I'll go back to my email because as luck had it, I actually got paid yesterday. I put in a withdrawal request and I'll just show you that so you know it's real. There they are. Right, we are pleased to inform you that your withdrawal request for $276 has been successfully processed. The funds have been transferred to your wallet address. There was that one, and that one. They all arrived yesterday. I actually put in a request, I think it was about 2 or 3 days ago, and it was processed and sent direct to my wallet. So that's the sort of the overview of the compensation plan. As I say, anybody can get it started from $100 upwards. And I'll be perfectly honest with you, I can't see it why anyone wouldn't. Even if you didn't want to build a team or, you know, weren't interested in introducing it to anybody else, a good, steady, virtually safe return over a period of time on your liquidity. Like nothing's guaranteed because it's a real business. At the end of the day, you know, guarantees are fairy dust basically, but it's a good solid business with a structure that is put in place for the long term. I think Andy's got a video on one of his slides about Camhurst, so you can see an overview of the actual company. Now, I did send Andy some new details on the Zooms that the company hold every night of the week. Tonight, we've got a fabulous presenter from the USA. It's 9:30 UK time it starts, but that gives you an overview of actually the company behind this. As I say, Camhurst 3DCP is the company behind it. Property Robots has got an agreement with Camhurst. So we don't buy and sell robots personally. We don't have to know nothing about robots. Camhurst do all that on our behalf. They buy and sell robots. We provide liquidity. They take that liquidity, manufacture and send out a robot that has been pre-ordered by an end user, and they share the profits with us. The only part we play in it really is we provide liquidity to help them manufacture these robots. So, you know, from our perspective, it can be totally passive if you want to. Now, personally, I've got a lot of people that are team builders and want to build large teams, but I've also got a few people that are totally passive, have just come in with, I don't like saying this because it preempts. I'm quite fortunate. I have quite a few people that come in with like sort of $500 to $1,000 sort of, and they're just totally passive, but they're quite happy to see the fixed term plan out over 6 months and double their income. Now, obviously, it's like if your money's going to double, it's the chicken and the egg. The more you put in, the more it doubles, basically. 100 is 200, but if you put 1,000 in, it's 2,000. So, but everybody's got to be happy with the level of liquidity they provide. But do not put any money in this if you need it to pay the rent, if you need it to live on day in, day out, or you need it back before a minimum of 6 months, because it is not that type of business. This is a real business. If you put your money in a bank, in an investment, and you want to withdraw it out before that term, you either get heavy penalties where you lose a large percentage of your money, or you cannot do it, because that your money, you have provided liquidity and they use that liquidity. That $200,000 that we purchase a robot for is used time and time again. It's cycled over and over again, because $200,000, it purchases a robot, 250 is paid back to us. That 200,000 is used again and again and again. So we're not looking for people that are looking to put liquidity into this and need to draw it out a week later or 2 weeks later. You've got to be realistic and look at a longer term vision. And that's all I can say, really. I've been in since October of last year. I've met the CEO. I've seen the premises. I've been to the factory. I've seen the robot. I've met an awful lot of the leaders. Anybody can actually go and visit the warehouse and visit the factory. You need to make an appointment. Obviously, you can't just turn up ad hoc. But if you make an appointment, you are more than welcome to, go to the offices, meet the CEO. I'll be honest with you, you couldn't meet a nicer kind of guy. He's been in business over a number of years. He's had some success. He's had some failures, like all business people. With this project, this company is looking at a long-term global vision, because the construction industry and the real estate industry is totally massive. And with the sort of shortage of housing around the world and the homeless crisis, it's a golden opportunity. It's what they call right time, right place. And it's a perfect opportunity for anybody. Now, I'll be honest, I'm very enthusiastic about it. I'm excited where this is going and where it can go. What I would suggest that anyone that's looking at it and still sitting on the fence, or maybe looking at the first time, try and get on one of the company Zooms and get the background on Camhurst 3D CP. That's all I can suggest, really. The compensation plan will take care of itself. The community will take care of itself. 3D CP printing is going to be the future. It really is. It's already been adopted in numerous countries, Germany, America. In fact, if you go on YouTube, I think there's quite a few videos from a company in America that have actually printed a development in Texas, I think it was. That's all they're printing, though. They're not interested in solving the housing crisis. Most of these big companies now have gone into being research and development companies. They've got billions in investments. With our company, we're doing it slightly different. We want to build houses. We want to help communities, and that's where we're different from a lot of these other companies. We've got a machine that is mobile, lightweight, can be shipped anywhere, and can be assembled anywhere with minimum effort. It doesn't take a lot of manpower. In fact, I was in the office, in the warehouse a couple of weeks ago, and I actually helped them assemble part of the new robot, and I was surprised how light it was. And I'll be honest, I'm not a manual type of worker, so the carrier bag's normally heavy for me. But these were absolutely they don't need cranes to put them in place. They don't need concrete foundations like a lot of the other ones do. So all I can say is I'm excited about it, and to be honest with you, I can't understand why anybody else won't get excited about it, because it is the future. It really is. We've all had years and years and years. I'm the same. I'm no different from a lot of yous. I've made money, I've lost money, but I've never actually had an opportunity to get in on something as ground floor as this. Normally, by time you get offered anything like this, if you do, it's years and years down. We're kind of pioneers with this company. If you imagine, you was in a position to, like I always say, be at the Facebook meeting, be at the Google meeting. These kind of companies started somewhere, and this is where Camhurst is starting now. We wouldn't normally get an opportunity to provide liquidity for this company. They would just go to investors and stuff like that. But they don't want to sell their company off. They want to keep their company in-house. So they're providing an opportunity for us to provide liquidity. And that's the best I can say. Hopefully, Andy will show you a video of what Camhurst actually is. But if you have got any queries or questions, obviously, I don't know whether Andy wants to finish the presentation off first and we ask him
I'll
at the
quickly
end.
finish the presentation, then we'll do a quick questions and answers. But we've been exactly an hour now, so I'll be as quick as I can. Do you want to stop?
Yeah, no, I ramble on. I ramble on a bit sometimes.
Do you want to stop your sharing? And I'll
Yeah, I will do. Sorry, my friend.
That's okay. So,
have I stopped it?
Yeah, you covered all that very, very well, by the way. So, is this the video you were thinking of?
I think it could be. Absolutely.
The world is in a housing crisis. USA alone is short of 4 million houses. That is a $1.6 trillion untapped market. The traditional way of building is very slow, and the huge shortage of skilled labor makes the problem even worse. Camhurst 3D CP. After more than 5 years and millions of dollars invested in research and development, R&D, we have developed the best 3D CP robots in the world. Our 3D CP robots can build a small house in 48 to 72 hours. Ultimate solution to the global housing shortage. build more houses faster. With our 3D CP and other technologies, we can build up to 20 to 30 times faster. For example, a 250-meter square house skeleton structure can be built in 48 to 72 hours. This means we can build more affordable homes, build cheaper, less workers are needed on site, no forms for concrete, no steel. We use faster hardening cement. Construction companies can save up to 35% on costs. Full training is provided for 3 people when someone buys a 3D CP robot from Camhurst 3D CP Limited. Greener and more eco-friendly. We do not use steel, iron, or Portland cement during construction, and using geopolymer cement, we can produce houses that are up to 90% more eco-friendly. Because we do not use steel-supported walls or any other forms, upon completion of the project, we have very little waste. Build more houses, make more profit, and solve the housing shortage in your city. Camhurst 3D CP. For more information, contact the person who shared this video with me.
Okay, so I'm not going to go through when the presentations are scheduled for, because I think, didn't you just tell me that that's all changed now, Steve? So keep an eye on the Wealth Warriors group, and we'll make sure that the proper times and dates for the Zoom calls are in the Wealth Warriors Telegram group. Something just before we leave property robots, something I want to point out is that if you were to know somebody, for example, you might know somebody who runs a construction company, you might know somebody in a local government in a Caribbean island somewhere. If you were to bring customers to Camhurst and those customers end up buying robots, you can earn a sales commission from that. And they can be very, very significant sales commissions. So it's worth thinking about who do you know who wants to buy these robots. It's not really part of property robots, what we're talking about this evening, but you can make some good money by doing that. If it turns out that that's somebody you know, then write to the company directly. The details are on the website. And some people have made some really good profit from that, Steve, haven't they?
Yes,
Okay.
they have. Absolutely.
Yeah. So what to do now? Get the referral link from Property Robots from your upline. Register, deposit, and buy a package. Pass your Property Robots referral link to your Wealth Warriors personal people, the people in your other platforms. Follow up to make sure they register in a timely fashion and pass their link on. Okay, this isn't the sort of setup where you need to be first out of the gate and beat people to the punch. Make sure you're upline this time. No, we stick to the rules, and if you're upline in Property Robots, then you're upline in all of the platforms we introduce, because people rushing to get first mover advantage, as they call it, that destroys lines of sponsorship. It destroys friendships. It destroys trust. Okay, and for what? Nothing. Okay, if the whole thing doesn't work, then it's all for nothing. So stick to the rules. Get into the platforms in the right order, in the right position, and make sure all of your people do the same. So then what you do is you get the referral links for all the platforms from the person who invited you to the presentation. Register in all the opportunities and make a note of all your referral links. And we've got 3 opportunities at the moment. I covered them off earlier. Pass these links on to your existing frontline members or to people that you invite to see this presentation. Make a minimum payment into all the opportunities. If you can't do that, select one, the one that you're most interested in. And with a view to coming back later as you make some money, so you fill out the other platforms and get them all on the go. Ask your introducer to be added to the Wealth Warriors Telegram group. So any of us that are in the Telegram group can add other people. No, I don't have special advantage over anybody else. If I can add them, you can add them. Attend a Zoom call or watch a video for each platform. And Steve was talking about a Property Robots call that's starting in about 20 minutes. As new platforms are added, one, make sure to get the referral link if you're uploading and join as quickly as possible. And two, pass your referral links to your existing team. And number three, get on a presentation for that new platform as soon as possible. So don't be the one in your group that holds everybody up below you. Get the link as quickly as you can, sign up as quickly as you can, and pass your details on. We're building a solid foundation on which we can base our financial futures. This isn't a fly-by-night thing. It's not a hit and miss type thing. This is a solid foundation we're working on. We only want, and maybe property robots is a good one to be talking about, a solid foundation. We only want to work with companies that are in it for the long term. We only want to work with companies that are above board. And just looking at property robots, you'll see that they absolutely are. We want to build a large asset, which in turn will deliver us a large income, whatever that asset is. Only platforms that meet our rigorous criteria are even considered. And we want to apply our rules to this industry to achieve our outcomes. We don't want to be at the mercy of any one company. We make the rules for our outcome. Okay, we're in charge, not the different platforms. Finally, it's important to remain safe on the internet and in the world of online opportunities at all times. So do not share your password or other credentials with anyone. As Steve pointed out just now, the Property Robots website is absolutely secure because you can't sign in without getting an OTP code via your email. So nobody can hack your Property Robots account unless they've also hacked your email. Security on the Property Robots site is by the system sending you an OTP, but no, by email every time you want to log in. Back up your password in a secure location and make sure the executors of your will or your beneficiaries have access to this information in the event of your death. You don't want to spend time building a huge business to make lots of money, and then when something happens to you, it can't be passed on to your beneficiaries. Develop a strategy for property robots. As Steve said, you get in with whatever money you can. Do the best you can, but don't spend money that you can't afford to lose. Okay, and then as you accrue profit from that, when you build up $100, buy another plan. And pretty soon, after several months, so not that soon, but over several months, pretty soon you'll be earning enough money that you'll be able to buy a plan every single day. Okay, and that's when the growth really takes off. We've got spreadsheets to show that. It's very, very exciting. Do not use or invest money that you cannot afford to lose. Don't do that ever, whether that's to do with online businesses or anything else. The break-even point is 5 months and 84 days on a fixed plan, or 126 days on the flexible plan. Because whatever you put in, you've got that money back out. If you want to save it up, take your money back out. It'll take you 84 days or 126 days. The company's spending a lot of income on expanding the robot delivery process and expanding it worldwide. So what that means is that's money that otherwise would be coming to us in terms of better rates of return, okay, which will be happening further down the road. Steve said that as well. They're spending a lot of money expanding initially, which is good, but in the fullness of time, we'll get a better return than we're getting right now. So that's Wealth Warriors. Welcome to Wealth Warriors, Financial Freedom Fighters. And I do really see us, I didn't cover this today, but do really see us as being our own freedom fighters. We're the minority taking on the big conglomerates of governments and banking institutions and people who control the world of finance and your ability to make money. Nobody else in the world wants you to make money except me and you. Okay, so I really do see us as freedom fighters, and we need to do something. It's pointless just saying, oh, we're in a poor position. The government holds all the cards, the banking institutions hold all the cards. What are we going to do about it? And Wealth Warriors is my answer to what we're going to do about it. If you like it, tell some people about it. Let's get this community growing. If you don't like it, that's fine as well. But if you don't do this, you've got to do something, or you're just going to be flotsam, just tossed about on the sea of other people's plans, other people's strategies for how to get your money off you and get it to them. And my plan is for you to make a lot of money doing this. So that's it. That's Wealth Warriors. That's our introduction to property robots. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and we'll go back to the main to the main room, and everybody can unmute themselves if they want to. Just give me a few seconds. Gallery, let's allow everybody to unmute themselves. There we go. So if anybody wants to come on, ask Steve some questions. Andy, can you post in chat the Camhurst video? It's actually available in the Telegram group chat. Everything I've shown you tonight is in the Telegram group. So anybody who wants, Michael, you've unmuted yourself. Did you have a question for Steve? Or
A number of questions. One is, does the building require a foundation, or is it built on a cleared site?
Right, like any structure, it does need a foundation. These properties are normally built like modern properties are, on a concrete slab now in the middle with the foundations around the outside. The robots can actually build the foundations as well, because the foundations normally are just a block of brick, basically. But yes, it's all this is replacing, in effect, is the brickwork and the exterior wall work.
Yeah, okay.
Normal construction process takes place on everything.
Okay, I got it.
And it's all got to be compliant with building regs in whatever country jurisdiction
Worldwide,
that
yeah.
it takes place.
Yeah. What's the lifespan of a building? Do you know? Is there a projected lifespan?
Of a traditional building, or one of these?
One of the robot buildings.
One of the robot buildings. How long's the pyramid's been standing?
Yeah, that's right. But
Same as, because
concrete does deteriorate.
they're made from geopolymer, so the life expectancy of buildings is thousands and thousands of years. They're fireproof, waterproof. Basically, they're structures that are put in place and will last literally thousands and thousands of years.
My guess is that seeing the film, insulation can be poured in after.
Yes, basically, you still have a cavity. You still have a cavity. You build an outer and an inner skin. It's all done in one go with a robot. But basically, you build an outer and inner skin. It still has supports, but the supports are not steel. They're basalt, which is volcanic rock, basically, which gives it a longer lifespan. Because as soon as you put steel into concrete, it starts corroding.
Yeah.
So the actual construction of the house, in fact, if there is a few, I'll try and send them over to Andy later. There is a few different videos that show you different construction types, because these robots can literally build whatever design you program it to build.
Right. Okay. Got that. How about competitors?
Yes. They're everywhere.
That's what I thought.
They're everywhere, but they're not competitors as such. There's 3 or 4 main players, but they've gone down the route of being research and development companies. In fact, they're looking at building houses on Moon and Mars. They're not looking at building houses on Earth. That's how far they've gone. They've got agreements with NASA and stuff like that. They're going purely into research and development rather than building houses. So there is a few. Go on.
This is a mass provision, really.
Yeah,
because the market's fast.
Yeah, it's an open market, basically. Like, sort of, there is other companies out there, right? A few of the benefits that we've got over other companies: our speed to move. Our machinery is lightweight and easy to assemble. It's it's literally a third of the cost of most other machines out there. How can I put it? We're like the Ford of the motor industry. Where you got Rolls-Royce that build one car, say, a week, we're building 1,000 robots a week. You know, we're the Ford Motor Company of the robot building industry. We want to build them fast and get them shipped out the door quickly.
Yeah, 1,000 a week.
Well, I'm just making numbers up, to be honest with you. Like, we'll scale up to whatever we can scale up to. Like, basically, what happens at our assembly plants is all the parts are bought in.
Right.
We assemble them, test it, then we ship them out.
Yeah.
Now we can ship them out. Our time from order to what they call it, sending out the factory is 12 days.
Mhm.
The shipping time, obviously, that varies where it's going around the world. At the moment, we're only shipping from the UK, but we are looking at having warehouses established around, because basically it's just a warehouse full of parts.
Yeah.
So we're looking at building assembly plants, obviously in strategic locations wherever are needed, so we can ship quicker. But basically, from order to it leaves the warehouse, we're looking at 12 days.
Mm.
Shipping time, depending where it goes around the world. Assembly time, you're looking at, I think they assembled it in roughly 6 to 7 hours, where the competitors takes them about a month.
Mm.
There is another benefit to our robots, Michael, and that is that from when it arrives on site until it can start manufacturing houses is a few hours, maybe 5 or 6 hours, rather than with a lot of these others, they need to have a concrete slab foundation themselves, and that takes weeks for that concrete foundation to go off before they can even erect their robot to start building.
Yeah, because it won't stand the weight.
Sorry?
Because it won't stand the weight until it's dried out,
Yeah.
matured. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So-
Thanks for the answers.
You're welcome. Good
Thanks,
question,
pleasure.
Michael. Thank you. Okay, chat, I see you've unmuted yourself. Just to let everybody know, we're running out of time to get over onto the Property Robots Zoom call. We've only got 10 minutes to go. So, chat, you've got some questions, I take it.
Now, I wanted to ask you, whereabouts in England is this main facility?
Manchester.
Oh, Manchester? Okay.
Are you based in the UK?
No, Los Angeles.
All right. You're quite welcome to come over to the UK and visit the offices, meet the CEO. All you need to do is obviously send a request to support, and they'll arrange it. Now, the CEO, Adam Ahmed, is planned to go on a few trips into Europe over the next few months. So obviously, if you want to come to the factory, come to the offices, get that request in as soon as possible, because he will be obviously going on his trips around Europe, meeting up with people, and obviously hopefully confirming robot orders. But everybody's welcome to come and visit, whether you're a liquidity provider or a free member. You're all welcome to come and have a look.
Okay.
Okay, chat, thanks for that. And Sean, I see you've unmuted yourself, so not sure if you've done that intentionally to ask a question. Is Sean still with us? Not dropped off? Not gone back to sleep? No. Okay. Well, Sean, I think you're in touch with Adam anyway, aren't you? So you can, if you do have questions, by all means, get back to Adam. We'll get back to Steve. So, guys, we're going to finish the session there. It's gone on. It's an hour and 20 now. So I apologise for the extended time, but I think it's been time well spent. Thanks, Steve, for coming on this evening, telling us all about property robots. It gets more exciting every time I hear about it and go through any sort of presentation with you guys. It really is the way of the future. I'm really pleased that we've got this as part of Wealth Warriors. I see it as one of our mainstays, and I predict that some people on this call and some people involved in property robots through Wealth Warriors are going to make a lot of money for this or from this over the years. We're not in a tearing hurry to get everything started. It is all very exciting, Sean. You're absolutely right. So we're not in a tearing hurry to get everything done right now, but we want to get started and build as quickly as we can and take full advantage of this. It's a case of being in the right place at the right time, and we really are. We really are. So guys, thank you for your...
And Andy, before you go, what is the best way to get in contact with you privately?
We've had private conversations on Telegram, so by all means, drop me a message there. Yeah,
Okay.
and we'll chat from there.
All right.
I know we did start having regular calls a little while ago, but it all sort of fell out of bed. We can go back to that, and we'll talk privately soon.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, guys, so thank you so much for your time and attention, and God bless. If you're watching this by video, by the way, don't forget to press like and subscribe, and get this out to more and more people. So that's it. God bless. We'll speak soon.
I want to see you win. I want to see you absolutely smash every single dream you have. I want to see you overcome all of the barriers you face, and I want to see you succeed. I'm your biggest fan, your top supporter, and I'll be with you every single step of the way. You're destined for greatness, with or without me, and I want to see you achieve. Your potential is limitless, and your determination is inspiring. Keep striving for your goals, and I'll continue to cheer you on.